Hiya folks, I seem to have got some more fruit trees and bushes. My garden's turned into a permaculture garden, I think, which is a good thing. But I had a dilemma, or I've got a dilemma, small spaces. So I was trying to find out how to use pruning methods and training methods for small spaces for fruit trees. And it's not something new, it's something very old. Espalier, or cordoning. You can train the fruit trees on a flat plane. I mean, obviously you probably know that. If you don't, it's called Espalier. I didn't know it was called that. I thought it was just cordoning, like you do with grapes. But you can train trees on, like I said, a flat plane, which could be along a wall or along a fence line to create a natural fence. Now, because I've got a load of fruit trees, I've got in pots, not in ground, and I've got another couple in front, an apple and a pear, which I think I'm training them in that sort of way, because obviously they go wide. And apparently, from what I've read, I've just been studying it for the last couple of days, and because I really need stuff that doesn't take so much space, you know what I mean? But apparently, what it says is that it improves the fruit as well. This is sort of my Bible. I've got a couple of gardening books, but this is sort of my Bible. This is Encyclopedia of Gardening by the Royal Horticultural Society. But anyway, I'll sort of get on with it. There's a few clips. At the end, I found the strawberry thief, and there's a little outtake from my little boy. It's nice to be nice. Well guys, a few newcomers. I've got a cranberry, a mulberry, chokeberry or apfelberry, and pomegranate, granite apple. My wife picked these up from Aldi very cheaply. In fact, they were less than £5 each, which is very unusual here. So I'm very pleased, but I've got a dilemma. This guy will grow very large, and I'm trying to think about, well, I've been trying to think about where to put it. I've got a pomegranate, a mulberry tree or bush, obviously you can control it, and I've also got 2 fig trees which I've had for a while. I'm looking for somewhere to put them. Now, I'll show you what I mean, or where I'm thinking and what I'm thinking about doing to them. And the fig tree, I was thinking about cordoning along here, like in 3 tiers, like a grapevine maybe, but going up to about 2 metres high or just a bit higher, and training it along left and right. I mean, I could always move that. I've got a place for that. So, but that would be ideal with fig. This is the fig I started, that I did last over winter basically, but it's almost perfectly formed for it. I can go that left and can go right, can go left and can go right. And obviously, as it grows up, I could train it along that wall, and hopefully it'll live. Now, if it don't, it ain't cost me anything other than a bit of time, obviously rooting it. But it was from a tree that was growing here in Switzerland, quite close to me, so that should survive. What I've also got is this apple tree. It doesn't stand up very well. It got moved 2 years ago, and it all bent down last year. It put a lot of apples out. It's not going to do anything this year. But I'm thinking if I can train this up in that sort of plane, and same with that pear tree in that sort of plane, maybe going left and right, just put some posts up and let it maybe freeform it, not something, because it's obviously quite established, but I've got to trim it back, and that's what, a year old. Well, a year old. I put it in last autumn, so I was thinking doing the same with that and doing it again along this plane, because it's basically like a living fence then. And according to form, they put a lot better fruit out, and for the same sort of size tree basically. And if I could grow it that way, it gets plenty of sun. I can get down through this area, because obviously trees come out that way, and I just want to keep it in that sort of line. Same with fig and everything else. This is a pomegranate. It's a little bit pathetic. I think it were a bit dry. My wife picked it out, but it were a bit dry. But it was in a box. But as I said, for £2 or £3, there's nothing lost. It's actually, I'm assuming they're flowers forming. Don't know nothing about pomegranates. But I looked on the internet. It said till -12, but on back at packet it said -2. Yeah, it's interesting. can get it in a tub, I'll keep it if it don't get too big. And this is a little peach tree which started from a stone, which again is free. So I'll probably put it up against that front fence, or the back fence as it is really, with the mulberry, and do the same again, left and right, and trying to form it up into something, into a shape that's not wide, because that's the problem. It's the width and the obviously canopy cover. With this sort of way you can get lots of trees into a small space and improve the fruit quality apparently. I just planted the chokeberry in this bed, cardboarded it up and put some more mulch on it. I'll give it a good watering as well in underneath the mulch, and then watered it again over the top. Just be cardboard mulch, and then the wood chippings. This bark incidentally is off the tree. I started stripping it. But this entire front edge here is absolutely full with resin. It's about 1 centimetre thick or more, 1/2 inch thick in some places. I just wanted a bit to waterproof a bag, but there's enough for about 20 there. I've got loads already saved. These were some old cranberry bushes we had, and that were all together in one clump. Now this is about 3 or 4 years old. It didn't do very well where it were. I've moved it. Probably not best time to move it, but I did take it with a big lump of sod, but there weren't many roots on it really. So I'm hoping they'll survive, and I've put the other one, what we've just bought, here. Again, it's not bad for sun here, but it says on back it said they tolerate semi-shade, because these sort of forest plants live on edges of forest, so should be alright there, and we will see what we get. Talking about fruit and perennials, this is that raspberry bush. There's literally hundreds of fruit coming on it. This morning there's probably about a dozen bees around it now, or more. But every single tip there's got 3 or 4 fruit on, all the way back there and all the way across there. And I'm thinking of training this apple tree as well.
Oh my god.